So for this one, I want to show you just kind of the power of this when it comes to patterning and stuff. So you don't have to follow along. The video will be there for you. It's really the same thing we did earlier in the class. I just want you to see it and experience how easy it is. So please stop what you're doing, all of you, and just watch. Okay, so if I take this pattern and I want to move it, now all I have to do is take the curve that I referenced and slide it to a new position, and it redoes the pattern. I can slide it anywhere that I still have the pattern. Up there, it's beyond the extent of my pattern, so I need to increase my pattern if I wanted to redo it. But it's going to test and retest and exclude and include wherever that pattern actually exists, which is pretty powerful. I can go all the way back to the beginning, and I can change the Y direction and change the organization of the pattern. I can randomize what the what the values are. I can change my trues and falses to change the pattern that way. Any number of things that I want to do to change it are modifiable here. But additionally, if I wanted to very simply take that surface, create a new one with a rotator, and so I'm just going to go under transform, Euclidean, sorry, not orient, rotate, and I'm going to rotate this geometry. Sorry, not there. It needs to happen back here, actually. I think that's the right one. So I'm going to go and rotate this geometry about its center point. An angle 0 less than 360. Wait, I need radians. Right, and so now you're just kind of watching how fast, once you know what you're doing, how fast this really can come to fruition. So I've got my rotator, now I can change the orientation of that angle, so all I have to do is replace the connections. Okay, so if I take that new geometry and I replace the boundary here and the boundary there, now I can do the same thing rotating with the pattern, which is a very, very powerful thing.
With the pattern?
With the pattern, yeah. The pattern is responding to every angle that I change.
How could you get just one pattern on there and then just rotate that?
So if I got one pattern on there and I just want to rotate that, I take this whole package of information, put it at the end, and I just use this instead. So that's the geometry. This is the geometry I'm rotating. I turn all this off and that. And now I can rotate a completed geometry. Pretty cool, right? So this is kind of what I mean. If you understand how to package information together, it becomes really, really efficient, right? Because like I know that every time I need to do a rotate, I need radians, I need a 0 to 360, I need a center point. Okay, so I need to do that every time, a little package like this, every time I do a rotate. Okay, so it looks a little crazy. We could clean it up. I'm going to save this for you on the drive. What questions do you have? No questions. That's good. That means I did my job. All right. Cool. So I'll be around to help you out with everything else. And you had a question. What was the normals question again?
If you could view which direction this
Ah, yes. I'll put that in the video here. So if you want to view the direction that the normal is heading, you're going to need to use a display. All right, let me just get rid of that. I don't need that. So if you go under display, they have this cool one that's called vector display right here. And vector display has this little jagged edge on the back. Okay, so that tells you something. It tells you that it is the end of a feature. So it serves no other purpose than for you to give it information, for it to show you something, and it cannot create anything else beyond that. So what it asks for is the anchor point, and it also asks for a vector. Okay, so what that means is you need to find the normal of the surface, then you need to give it the point and give it the vector normal, and it'll show you the direction. And now we're going back again to information we're seeing for the third or fourth time now. We need to find the surface normal. So we go to surface analysis, evaluate surface, and surface closest point, and we do the same triangular configuration, right? We're going to need area, so we get the centroid. We plug the surface in here. We plug the center point in there. We connect UV, P to UV, connect the surface. Now we have our normal orientation. So we use the centroid as your anchor point and the normal as your V, and there it is. That's telling you what direction your normal is heading. This is a package. It's an ugly one right now, but it's a package. Is that clear? Are there any questions about that? Okay, great. So I'm going to stop the video here. That's the end of class for today. I'll be around to help you out if you have any more problems.